There is a borderland, a subtle seam stitched between the world of doing and the world of being, where the sharp, focused light of common day softens into the velvet hush of uncommon night. This is a threshold, not of geography, but of spirit. Here, the air itself is different. It carries the faint, clean scent of faraway rain on ancient stone, a scent that speaks of cleansing and renewal. The sounds of the world, the distant hum of engines, the murmur of crowds, the insistent ping of notifications, are all muted here, as if heard through a wall of thick, comforting glass. They are echoes from another life, another time, and they have no power over this place or over you now. It is to this threshold you have now come, not by any conscious turning of a wheel or reading of a sign, but by a gentle, inexorable drawing of the heart. You did not decide to come here so much as you allowed yourself to be called. It was a pull, a quiet yearning for stillness that you finally stopped ignoring. And so you find yourself at the edge of a place that seems both new and intimately familiar, a village that sleeps under a blanket of deep, star-flecked blue. This is Bramble Hollow. Its name suggests a certain wildness, a tangle of thorns and undergrowth, but its true nature is one of profound peace. The cottages, with their softly slumping roofs and chimneys puffing slow, dreamlike smoke, seem to nestle together for comfort and companionship. Their windows are eyes, half closed in slumber, and from within comes a soft amber glow that promises warmth and safety. Time, in this place, does not march. It meanders like a slow-moving stream with no particular destination in mind, and its passage is marked not by the ticking of a clock, but by the gradual shifting of starlight and the slow breathing rhythm of the night itself. And before you, beginning almost at your feet, is the path. It is not paved with stone or gravel, but with something that seems like compacted earth and starlight, a substance that is both of the ground and of the heavens. It is soft and resilient, and it seems to absorb all sound, creating a pocket of perfect auditory peace. Lining it at intervals as regular and comforting as a heartbeat are the lanterns. They bloom from slender iron stems, their glass housings not containing a flame, but seemingly growing the light from within themselves, as if each one is a fruit ripened by twilight. These are the lantern flowers, the old stories say, which open only when the sun has fully departed, offering their glow as a guide and a comfort to those who walk in the hour of rest. They are the silent guardians of this transitional space, the beacons for the weary. A breeze, warm and soft as a breath, moves through the leaves of a nearby willow, causing them to shiver with a sound like 1,000 tiny whispers. And on that breeze, a single, clear word forms, not in your ears, but in the quiet spaces of your mind, the spaces between your thoughts. Follow. It is the simplest of invitations. There is no pressure, no demand. It is merely an acknowledgement that you have arrived and that the path is ready for you. It is a confirmation of a choice your soul has already made. You take a first, tentative step. The path is soft and yielding beneath your feet, as if the earth itself is cushioning your journey. You notice immediately that the golden light from the lanterns pulses with a slow, steady rhythm. And as you focus on it, as you let your awareness settle into the gentle brightening and dimming, you realize with a start of quiet wonder that the rhythm is your own. The in-breath, a slight brightening. The out-breath, a gentle dimming. The path is already breathing with you, attuning itself to your very life force. You are not a separate traveler on this path. You are a part of its living, breathing ecosystem of peace. As you walk, the light settles on your hands, your face, not as a beam, but as a diffuse, gentle warmth, like the residual heat from a sun-warmed stone at the end of a long day. It is a light that soothes rather than illuminates, that calms rather than reveals. The air carries a layered fragrance, the crisp, clean scent of pine from the forest ahead, undercut by the dusty, sweet smell of old paper and binding glue, as if you are walking through a library that has been open to the elements for 1,000 years, its stories slowly merging with the forest. It is the smell of forgotten lore and gentle memories, a scent that invites contemplation and release. From a great distance, an owl offers its solitary call to the night. It is a sound that does not shatter the silence, but rather punctuates it, gives it shape and meaning. It is a reminder that life goes on in this quiet world, a life of grace and purpose that does not require noise. The lanterns along the path flicker in a wave, a silent, luminous conversation with the creature of the dark, a conversation you are now privileged to witness. And with each step, you feel a little lighter. The mental lists, the small worries, the constant hum of anticipation, these things, the weight you have been carrying, begin to feel less immediate. Their sharp edges are blunted by the soft light, their urgent voices hushed by the profound quiet. They are not gone, but they are being set down one by one with every movement forward. It feels as though you are unpacking a heavy bag you have been carrying for miles. And with each item you leave behind on the soft path, your stride becomes longer, your posture straighter, your heart more open. The people of Bramble Hollow, those few who are spoken of in hushed, reverent tones, say the path is ancient beyond record. Some believe it was woven into the world by the first dreamers, those who learned to travel in their sleep and brought back fragments of beauty from the land of dreams to plant in the soil of this in-between place. Others say it is the work of gentle, forgotten gods, the deities of stillness and repose, who carved it as a sanctuary for overburdened souls. The truth is unknown and unimportant. What matters is the single, unwavering truth everyone knows. A truth that has been passed down through generations of stargazers and storytellers. No one finds the whispering lantern path by accident, and no one walks its length without receiving the gift they secretly needed. Tonight, you are the recipient of that ancient promise. You are the seeker, and the path is your answer. You follow a gentle bend in the path, and the cozy outlines of Bramble Hollow dissolve into the deeper, welcoming darkness of the forest. The soft domestic sounds of the village, the creak of a sign, the murmur of a voice from an open window, the faint clink of a dish, fade away, replaced by a new symphony. It is the sound of leaves, countless leaves, of 1,000 different shapes and sizes, brushing against one another in a breeze you cannot feel. It is a sound like a soft, constant rainfall or the shifting of silken sheets, a sound that is the very essence of comfort. This is the music of the forest, and it is a lullaby for the soul. The trees here are majestic and old. Their bark is dark, not black, but the deep, rich brown of well-worn leather, and it is etched with patterns that look like forgotten scripts. Their leaves are a pale, silvery green, like the underside of an olive leaf, caught in the moonlight, and they seem to drink the starlight, holding it in their veins and releasing it as a soft ambient glow. As you pass, you cannot help but feel they are aware of you. There is a sentience here, an ancient, slow-moving consciousness that observes your passage not with judgment, but with a deep, abiding curiosity. And if you listen not with your ears, but with your mind, you can almost discern a murmur, a low, resonant chanting, as if the trees are reciting the oldest poems of the earth, the verses about stone and root, and the slow turning of seasons. They are singing the world into being, and you are now a part of their song. The lanterns respond to this arboreal energy. Their light grows slightly more intense, casting longer, more defined shadows that dance and sway upon the path, creating a shifting tapestry of light and dark. And then you become aware of the hum. It is a low-frequency vibration that you feel in the center of your chest, in the marrow of your bones. It is not a sound, but a sensation, a resonant frequency of peace. It feels as though the lanterns are not just emitting light, but a tangible, soothing energy that harmonizes with your very life force, tuning you to the key of tranquility. This hum is the voice of the path, a wordless song of welcome and reassurance. Drawn by this feeling, you pause beside one particularly beautiful lantern, its glass etched with faint, swirling patterns like the unique fingerprints of the light itself. You slowly lower your hand until your palm is cupped just above its glowing crown. You do not touch the glass, only the light itself. The light within swells, brightening in welcome, and a wave of gentle warmth, completely devoid of heat, flows up your arm and into your chest. It feels like drinking a sip of warm spice milk on a cold night. A feeling that spreads from your core to the very tips of your fingers and toes. And then the whisper comes. It is not a voice, not a memory with a clear narrative. It is a feeling state, pure and unadulterated. It is the specific feeling of a rainy Saturday afternoon in childhood, when you were curled on a sofa with a book, a blanket tucked around you, safe in the knowledge that all was well and you were loved. It is the feeling of waking on a morning with no obligations, the sun painting patterns on the wall, and the whole, empty, beautiful day stretching before you like an unpainted canvas. It is a wave of pure, uncomplicated contentment, a feeling that has no opposite, no anxiety to shadow it. It is simply peace. The lantern has shared not a story, but the essence of peace from your own past. It has reached into the archives of your soul and retrieved not an event, but an emotion, polished to a brilliant shine by time and distance. It offers it to you without judgment, without context, as a simple gift, a reminder that this state of being exists within you, has always existed within you, beneath the layers of responsibility and worry. It is your birthright. You take a deep, shuddering breath, one you didn't realize you needed to take, and feel a knot of tension deep within you. A knot you had grown so accustomed to, you thought it was a part of you. Finally begin to unravel. The release is physical, a softening in your shoulders, a loosening in your jaw. You continue your walk, your steps now more sure, more fluid, as if you are moving through water instead of air. The path itself seems to aid your progress, gently propelling you forward. The path begins to slope gently downward, leading you into a deeper, more secluded part of the wood. The trees here grow closer together, their branches intertwining to form a vast cathedral-like canopy overhead that filters the starlight into a soft dappled radiance. Through the gaps in the pale leaves, you can see the stars, brighter and sharper here than you have ever seen them, like diamond dust scattered on black velvet. The air grows cooler, but it is not a cold that chills. It is a cool that refreshes, like dipping your hands into a clear mountain stream. This is the place known as the Whispering Hollow. The name is now a tangible reality. The air is still and cool, and it seems to absorb sound, creating a pocket of profound quiet. But it is not an empty silence. It is a silence rich with potential, humming with the latent energy of dreams yet to be dreamed. It is the quiet of a held breath before a secret is told. A silence that is full rather than empty, pregnant with meaning and promise. And then you hear them. Footsteps. They are ahead of you, matching your pace. Soft, sure, and steady. The sound is not threatening, but reassuring, a promise of company in the deep quiet. It is the sound of a presence that knows this path intimately, a sound that belongs here. From between the boles of two ancient twisted oaks, whose trunks are so large it would take 3 people to circle them. A figure steps onto the path. They are tall and draped in robes the color of a twilight sky. Deep indigo, bruised purple, and the last hint of sunset crimson at the edges, as if they have woven their garments from the very fabric of the evening. In their hand, they carry a lantern unlike the others. It is made of a dark, smoky crystal, and the light within is a soft, silvery white, like moonlight captured in water. This light does not pulse, it flows, a continuous, serene emission of clarity and calm. Their face is ageless, etched not with lines of worry, but with the gentle contours of profound understanding, as if they have listened to the sorrows and joys of thousands and have found a place of peace beyond them all. Their hair is long and streaked with silver that seems to hold its own light, reminiscent of the Milky Way scattered through a dark sky. But it is their eyes that hold you. They are deep and calm, and looking into them feels like looking into a still forest pool, a pool that reflects not your face, but your essence. They see you, not the persona you present to the world, but the quiet, essential self within, the self that is weary and hopeful and real. And in that seeing, you feel a permission to simply be, to be tired, to be quiet, to be exactly as you are in this moment, without any need for pretense or performance. They lift their crystalline lantern in a slow, graceful gesture of greeting, a movement that is both a welcome and a blessing. "Welcome, traveler," they say. Their voice is low and melodic, with a texture like smooth wood and flowing water. It is a voice that seems to have spoken only truths for 1,000 years, a voice that could calm a storm. "I have been awaiting your arrival. The path calls only those whose souls are ready to listen." A question forms in your mind, a bubble of wonder rising from the depths of your calm, and you give it voice, soft and wondering. "Who are you?" A smile touches their lips, a subtle shifting of light and shadow that conveys more warmth than a broad grin ever could. "I am a guide, a keeper of this hollow. My purpose is to walk with those who are ready to remember what they have forgotten, and to release what they no longer need to carry." Their lantern pulses once, its silvery light flaring gently, like a heart beating, and you feel a corresponding sense of rightness, of cosmic alignment, in your own chest. This meeting was meant to be. "Will you walk with me?" they ask, though it feels less like a question and more like the next, natural step in a beautiful, preordained dance, a step you're both eager to take. You fall into step beside them. Your pace slows to match their own, a slow, deliberate, and graceful amble. There is no hurry here. Time has lost all meaning. The concepts of late and early are meaningless artifacts from a world you have temporarily left behind. As you walk deeper into the whispering hollow, the forest seems to respond to the guide's presence. The lanterns along the path brighten as you pass, their golden light harmonizing with the guide's silvery one, creating a symphony of luminescence that paints the path in shifting hues of gold and platinum. Their gentle hum rises in pitch slightly, forming a chord of profound peace that resonates in the air around you. A chord that seems to vibrate in the space between your cells. The trees themselves seem to lean in slightly, their leaves trembling with a silent, reverent joy, as if paying homage to the guide and by extension to you, their guest. You have been carrying a great weight, the guide says, their voice barely disturbing the sanctity of the quiet. It is not an accusation, but a simple, compassionate observation, spoken with the detached love of a doctor noting a symptom. It has many names: worry, duty, memory, fear. Most who find their way here are shouldering such burdens. But the lanterns and this path understand the nature of weight. They know how to help you set it down, piece by piece. You feel a question rise within you: how? How can one simply set down the accumulated cares of a lifetime? The mind, ever the strategist, seeks a method, a technique, a 5-step plan to enlightenment. The guide turns their head slightly, their luminous eyes meeting yours, and they seem to understand the unspoken query. Their gaze holds infinite patience. Do not ask how, they murmur, their voice like a soothing hand on your brow. The mind seeks a method, a procedure. The soul only requires trust. Let the how be the path's concern. Yours is only to walk and to receive. Can you do that? Can you simply receive? The question hangs in the air, not as a challenge, but as an invitation to a great surrender. You consider it, and you find that here, in this place, with this presence, the answer is yes. A simple, profound yes. Ahead, the path widens, opening into a small, perfect clearing. In its center lies a pool of water so profoundly still, it appears to be a sheet of polished obsidian, perfectly reflecting the star-strewn canopy above. It is a perfect mirror, showing the sky its own beautiful face. The air over the water shimmers with a low-lying silver mist that coils and uncoils like a sleeping creature made of breath and light. It is a place of perfect, mirrored stillness, an oasis of quiet in a world of noise. The guide gestures with their free hand toward a lantern that stands sentinel at the water's edge. This one is simpler than the others. Its glass clear and uncarved, a pure vessel for the light within. Place your hand upon its light, the guide instructs softly. Do not seek anything, do not grasp. It will show your heart precisely what it is ready to see. Nothing more and nothing less. It knows you better than you know yourself. You move toward the lantern. This time, there is no hesitation. You extend your hand and let your fingertips dip into the sphere of its golden radiance. You feel the now familiar warmth spread up your arm, but this time it is accompanied by a sense of profound clarity, like a lens focusing in your mind. The sensation is immediate and more vivid than before. A memory, or rather a moment, rises before your mind's eye with perfect crystalline clarity. You see yourself not as a child, but perhaps as a younger version of who you are now, at a crossroads before the path became so tangled. You are in a specific place, maybe a room you once loved, filled with the artifacts of a life you were still building, or a landscape that once brought you joy, a specific beach at sunset, or a mountain trail at dawn. But the details of the place are secondary, mere stage dressing. What is primary is the feeling. You are unguarded. Your face is relaxed. Your eyes are bright with an inner light, not the dull sheen of endurance. You are whole. You are completely present, not pulled in a dozen directions by thought and obligation, but centered, anchored in the now. There is a light in your own eyes that you have not seen in a long time, a light of curiosity, of hope, of unjaded wonder. It is a moment of pure, unself-conscious being, a moment when you were, without question, at home within yourself. This is not a nostalgic fantasy. It is a memory of your own truth, a snapshot of your essential self. The lantern's hum swells, a sound of deep approval, of confirmation. Yes, it seems to say, this is you. This has always been you. This is the you that exists beneath the burden. Remember this face. Remember this feeling. The vision holds for a few precious heartbeats, allowing you to fully inhabit that feeling of integrity, to let it soak into your bones. And then it gently dissolves. It does not vanish abruptly, but rather softens, its essence seeping into you like water into dry earth, nourishing the parched landscape of your soul before the image itself fades back into the silver mist over the pool. The memory is gone, but the feeling remains, a new bedrock within you. You feel a hand on your shoulder, the guide's touch, firm yet gentle, a grounding presence connecting you back to the physical world of the path. The lanterns do not show us fantasies, the guide explains, their voice low and reverent. They show us our own truth. They remind us of the core of peace that exists beneath all the layers we have accumulated, the layers of responsibility, of disappointment, of mere habit. To remember that core is to remember how to rest. It is to remember that you are, at your center, still that whole, peaceful being. You nod, a deep understanding, settling within you, not as an intellectual concept, but as a lived experience. The weight feels different now. Not gone, but acknowledged. It is no longer a part of your essential self, but something separate, something you have picked up along the way, something that can be, as the guide said, set down. You see it now for what it is, a collection of experiences, not your identity. You continue your walk, the guide at your side. The forest changes character again, as if responding to your internal shift. The trees become less dense, their forms more graceful, their branches arching like the vaulted ceilings of a benevolent cathedral. Their leaves take on a lighter, almost luminous green hue, as if lit from within by a soft green fire. The air feels warmer, softer, as if the very atmosphere is offering you a supportive embrace, encouraging your newfound lightness. The path underfoot becomes carpeted with a thick, soft moss of the most vibrant emerald green, a moss that muffles your footsteps completely, allowing you to move in perfect silence. It is a landscape of profound comfort, a world designed for repose. And the lanterns begin to change. They are no longer uniform gold. Now, they glow in a soft, evolving palette, a visual symphony of serenity. Some pulse with a warm, buttery yellow, the color of morning sunlight, promising new beginnings and gentle awakenings. Others hold a steady, serene silver, like the guide's own light, offering constancy and clarity. Still others radiate a soft, healing lavender, a color long associated with tranquility and spiritual peace, or a pale, tranquil blue, the color of a calm sea and a clear sky. Speaking of depth and boundless peace, it is a symphony of light, each color speaking to a different part of your soul, each one a gentle beacon drawing you forward, deeper into the heart of peace. You walk through this gallery of gentle light, and it feels like a bath for your eyes, washing away the visual noise of the world you left behind. You walk on, through this ever-shifting gallery of gentle light, for what feels like both a moment and an eternity. The guide is silent, their presence a steady, comforting constant, an anchor in this sea of beautiful sensation. The only sound is the soft, resonant hum of the lanterns, which has now woven itself into a complex, beautiful chord that seems to vibrate in harmony with your own being. A chord that is the auditory expression of the peace you now feel. And then you arrive. The path opens into the final, and most sacred clearing. It is a perfect circle, ringed by the most ancient of the forest's trees. Their trunks so massive and gnarled they seem less like trees and more like pillars holding up the dome of the night sky, their bark a tapestry of moss and lichen and time. In the very center of this circle stands a single lantern. This is the lantern of rest. It is larger than all the others, standing as tall as your shoulder. A monolith of pure, peaceful intention. Its form is simple, majestic, unadorned. The glass is not clear, but seems to be made of alabaster, glowing from within with a steady, unwavering, creamy white light. It does not pulse or flicker. It is a constant, a bedrock of luminous peace. It has stood in this spot for eons, its base worn smooth by countless passing winds and the footsteps of countless other weary travelers like yourself. This lantern's purpose is not to guide you forward or to show you memories. Its sole purpose is to guide you inward, to the still point at your very center, the silent core of your being where the soul resides. This is the end of the path for now, the guide says, their voice hushed with a sacred reverence, as if speaking in a holy of holies. The lantern of rest does not whisper of the past. It whispers only of the present moment. It whispers only peace. You step forward, drawn by the profound magnetic stillness of the light. It feels like a physical force, a gentle pull on your spirit. You stand directly before it, allowing its soft white radiance to wash over you, to penetrate your skin, to fill you. You open yourself to it completely, lowering all your inner defenses, offering up your weariness like a gift. And as it does, something fundamental shifts inside you. It is a settling, a clicking into place, like the final perfect piece of an intricate puzzle sliding home. The last remnants of the weight you carried, the tension in your shoulders, the tightness in your chest, the frantic whirl of your thoughts, simply dissolve. They are not fought, not wrestled into submission. They are simply outshone by this greater, more powerful light, a light that does not combat darkness, but replaces it. A deep, cellular stillness rises up from within you, a calm you had forgotten you possessed. It is the calm of the deep ocean, unaffected by the storms on the surface. It is the stillness of the earth itself, turning slowly in the void, unperturbed. This is your true nature. This is who you are when you stop doing, and simply are. You feel the guide's presence behind you, but their light has dimmed considerably, its work nearly done. You have found the source. You no longer need the signpost when you have reached the destination. You will dream deeply tonight, they whisper, their voice now faint, as if coming from the far end of a long, quiet tunnel, a sound from a world you are preparing to leave. And you will remember this feeling. The path is not a place you leave behind. It is a state of being you can return to. Whenever you need it, you have only to close your eyes and listen. Listen for the whisper of the lanterns. They are always calling you home to yourself. The forest around the clearing seems to hold its breath. The leaves cease their rustling. The very air becomes motionless, a perfect vessel for the silence. The world pauses in a moment of profound reverence, honoring your transition into rest. The gitu takes a slow step back, then another. You see the faint silvery flicker of their lantern from the corner of your eye, a final gentle gesture of farewell and blessing. And then the light winks out, and the guide is gone. You are not abandoned. You are graduated. And then you are alone with the lantern of rest. But you do not feel alone. You feel more whole, more connected to all that is than you have in years. You feel yourself settling, not just onto the soft moss of the clearing, but into the very core of your own consciousness. You are sinking into the seat of your own awareness, the silent witness behind all your thoughts and feelings. You are returning to the birthplace of your own rest, the fertile, dark, quiet ground from which your most peaceful dreams will unfurl, slowly and beautifully, like the petals of the lantern flowers themselves, opening to the moon. The lanterns ringing the clearing begin to pulse one last time. Gold, silver, blue, and lavender. They flash in a slow, final, comforting rhythm, a visual lullaby of light, a farewell symphony that wishes you sweet dreams. Your breath deepens of its own accord, becoming slow and regular, each exhale a release of the last vestiges of the day, each inhale a reception of the deep, abiding peace that now fills you. Your thoughts, those tireless companions, finally lose their sharp edges. They soften, blur, and begin to drift away, like clouds on a calm, windless day, leaving behind only a vast, serene, and empty sky. The internal monologue, the constant commentary, falls silent. There is only the peace of the unspoken. Your body feels heavy, but it is a pleasant heaviness, the weight of deep relaxation, as every muscle, every fiber lets go at once. You are melting into the earth, supported and held. The night itself seems to lean down and fold around you, not as a darkness, but as a soft, heavy, comforting blanket, woven from silence and starlight, tucking you in for a long, rejuvenating sleep. And the whispering lantern path, its work complete for now, simply holds you in its timeless embrace. It has given you its gift. It has led you home to yourself, guiding you now, gently, irresistibly, into a deep, utterly unbroken, and profoundly peaceful sleep. You are safe. You are still. You are deeply, deeply rested. Let go now. Just sleep.